The rain fell in relentless sheets, drumming against the umbrella like 1,000 accusing fingers. Elena Thompson stood before the small granite headstone, her designer coat soaked through despite the cover. Alexander Thompson, beloved son, 2010 to 2020, it read. The words etched as deeply into her soul as into the stone. 10 years old, gone in an instant, stolen by a drunk driver on a night she should have been home, instead of sealing another corporate deal. She clutched a bouquet of white lilies, her manicured nails digging into the stems. I'm sorry, Alex, she whispered, her voice cracking for the first time in months. Mommy's so sorry. But apologies meant nothing to the dead. As she knelt to place the flowers, a sob echoed from nearby, a raw guttural cry that pierced the storm. Elena turned, her heart twisting, and saw her, a woman with olive skin and dark hair, matted by rain, huddled with a little girl under a tattered shawl. They knelt at a grave just 2 plots away, the woman's body shaking with grief, the child clinging to her like a lifeline. Elena hesitated, her instincts as a high-powered executive screaming to mind her own business. She had a flight to catch, in 2 hours another merger in Tokyo that could make or break her career at Apex Global. But something in that cry pulled at her, a shared language of loss that transcended words. Wiping rain from her face, she approached slowly, her heels sinking into the mud. The woman looked up, her eyes red-rimmed and fierce, protective. She was Spanish. Elena guessed from the accent when she spoke. Por favor, déjenos en paz. The woman sighed, her voice trembling but firm. Please, leave us in peace. I'm sorry, Elena replied softly, holding up her hands. I didn't mean to intrude. I heard you. My son is buried over there. She pointed to Alex's grave, the lilies already wilting in the downpour. The little girl, no more than 6, peeked out from behind her mother's skirt, her big brown eyes wide with curiosity and fear. She had a toy rabbit clutched in her arms, its fur matted and dirty. The woman Marian, as Elena would later learn, softened slightly, her shoulders slumping. Mi hija y yo. We're visiting her pup. He died last year, cancer. Her English was accented but clear, laced with exhaustion. The girl Sofia tugged at her mother's hand. Mama, ¿quién es ella? Who is she? Elena knelt to Sofia's level, ignoring the mud staining her expensive slacks. Hi, sweetie. I'm Elena. What's your name? Sofia hid her face, but Maria gently encouraged her. Sofia, the girl mumbled. Something about her, the innocent tilt of her head, the way she hugged that rabbit, reminded Elena of Alex at that age. He had a stuffed bear he carried everywhere, even to her office on the rare days she brought him along. The memory hit like a wave, and Elena's eyes welled up. Your papa must have been a wonderful man, she said to Maria, standing again. Maria nodded, tears mixing with rain. Javier, he came to America for a better life, worked 2 jobs. But the treatments, we couldn't afford them all. Her voice broke. Now, it's just us. I clean houses, but it's not enough. Sofia asks for him every night. As the rain eased to a drizzle, Elena found herself sitting on a nearby bench with them. The cemetery's quiet, amplifying their shared sorrow. Maria's story poured out like the storm clouds parting. She and Javier had fled poverty in Spain 5 years ago, dreaming of opportunity in New York. Javier was a mechanic by trade, but undocumented status limited his options. When the cancer diagnosis came, lung cancer from years of factory work back home, they fought with everything they had. Maria sold their few possessions, begged for charity care, but the bills mounted. Javier passed in a cramped hospital room, holding Sofia's hand, whispering promises he couldn't keep. Now, Maria struggled in a tiny apartment, evading eviction notices, while Sofia attended a underfunded school. I cry here because it's the only place I feel him, Maria confessed, glancing at the grave-marked Javier Ruiz, loving father and husband. Elena's own grief resurfaced in painful flashes. Alex's death had shattered her world. She and her husband, Mark, had been on the brink of divorce even before the accident. Her endless work trips, his resentment. After the funeral, Mark left, unable to bear the empty house. Elena threw herself into her career, climbing to VP at Apex, burying pain under boardroom victories. But success felt hollow. I wasn't there, she admitted to Maria, her voice barely above a whisper. The night it happened, I was in a meeting. Alex was with a babysitter, crossing the street. She trailed off. The guilt, a familiar knife. Sofia, sensing the tension, offered her rabbit to Elena. Bunny makes me feel better when I miss Papa. Elena took it gently, a lump in her throat. Thank you, Sofia, you're very brave. The encounter stretched into hours, the flight forgotten. Elena listened as Maria described the daily battles, language barriers, at Sofia's school, where the girl was bullied for her accent, the fear of deportation hanging like a shadow, the ache of raising a child alone while grieving. Elena shared her own regrets, missing Alex's soccer games, his bedtime stories, all sacrificed for ambition. I thought providing financially was enough, she said, but it wasn't. Now I'd give anything for one more hug. Maria placed a hand on hers. We can't change the past, but maybe we can help each other now. That simple touch sparked something in Elena. As they parted ways, exchanging numbers, She couldn't shake the image of Sofia's hopeful eyes. Back in her sleek Manhattan apartment that night, Elena stared at Alex's photo on her nightstand. "What would you want me to do, buddy?" she whispered. The answer came clear. "Help them." The next day, she called Maria. "Let me take you to lunch, please." Maria hesitated but agreed. Over sandwiches in a cozy diner, Elena learned more. Sofia dreamed of being a doctor, like the ones who tried to save her father. But with Maria's meager income, even basic school supplies were a luxury. Challenges mounted as their friendship deepened. Elena offered to pay for Sofia's after-school program, but Maria's pride bristled. "I don't want charity," she said firmly. "We've survived this far." Elena understood. Her own independence had been her armor. Instead, she proposed a job. Maria could clean Elena's office building, a steady gig with fair pay. Maria accepted, tears in her eyes. But hurdles arose. Sofia fell ill with a fever, and without insurance, Maria panicked. Elena rushed them to a clinic, covering the costs discreetly. "It's not charity," she insisted. "It's what friends do." Then came the eviction notice. Maria's landlord demanded back rent. Elena connected her with a pro bono lawyer from her network, fighting the case until it was resolved. Through it all, Elena confronted her own demons. Visiting Alex's grave became a ritual, but now with Maria and Sofia sometimes joining. One afternoon, as Sofia played nearby, chasing butterflies, Maria turned to Elena. "You remind me of Javier's strength," he always said. "La familia no es solo sangre," family isn't just blood. Elena smiled through tears. Alex would have loved Sofia. He was kind like that. The turning point came when Elena's boss demanded she relocate to Tokyo permanently. The promotion was a dream, 6 figures, global influence. But as she packed, doubt gnawed. She visited the grave alone, rain falling again. "I can't leave them, Alex. Not like I left you." She declined the offer, stunning her colleagues. Instead, she started a foundation in Alex's name, Hearts United, aiding immigrant families with medical and legal support. Maria became her first partner, coordinating outreach. Sofia thrived, her grades soaring, her laughter filling Elena's one silent home during weekend visits. Mark even reached out, inspired by Elena's change, and they began mending their broken bond. Months later, on Alex's birthday, Elena stood at his grave with Maria and Sofia. The sun shone brightly, a rare gift. Sofia placed a drawing on the stone, a boy with angel wings holding a girl's hand. "For your son," she said shyly. Elena hugged her tight. "Thank you. You've given me a second chance at being a mom." Maria wiped her eyes. "And you've given us hope." In the end, grief didn't vanish, transformed. Elena learned that true success wasn't in boardrooms, but in open hearts. Maria found strength and vulnerability, building a new life from ashes. And Sofia, she grew up knowing love could bridge worlds. As they walked away, hand in hand, the message was clear. In the depths of loss, connection heals. Reach out, for in helping others, we save ourselves. Life's greatest mergers aren't deals, they're the bonds that make us whole.